I don't know how well this is gonna stay. I have the camera propped up on a pillow. Yeah. Anyways, hello. I'm skipping back. So, I suck at introductions. I'm in my office again, in the laundry room, doing some laundry as per usual, and I wanted to talk about some things. I do have a topic today, and that is queer representation. Representation in media, TV shows, YouTube, radio, and all of the wonderful things that make us want to stick around and not die. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. What inspired this, you may ask? Well, from my last video, you can probably tell that I went to the Dan and Phil tour, and that kind of spurred a couple of things. Obviously, my YouTube addiction is now back full throttle, and so I am just binge watching YouTube because it's been years since I watched any of it, and I forgot how much I love YouTube. I love the community, I love the people, I love that there's so many different diverse like subcategories and stuff, and I've also found that there is like an amazing lesbian community. Who knew this? And all of this came from watching Dan and Phil, and also suggestions from my friend Alex. So thank you. There are some YouTubers out there, and they're called Rose and Rosie. They're a very popular lesbian couple. One of them is actually bisexual, so I don't want to like do any bi erasure there, but I was binge watching their videos yesterday, and I came across their wedding video, and it brought actual tears to my eyes, and in not so a good way, because it was good because it was so beautiful and pure, but I couldn't finish watching it because it made me really emotional, because I feel like maybe I may never get the chance to have such an inclusive wedding, just because I don't think all of my family members would necessarily support me in that endeavor, because I am in fact a lesbian, and so marrying a woman may not be something that my family's into. I'm not saying my mom or my dad per se, but maybe more extended family and their spouses and partners. I won't have like a giant chapel filled with people, I don't think. But I think that video being on YouTube is just so, it's needed. It's needed because there are not a lot of representation for queer weddings. You see a lot of straight weddings, and even though I think gay marriage is legal, it's not something you see on the news every day or something you see very often. It's not like you're scrolling through Facebook and bam, you see it, unless you are just like so far into the LGBT community, in which case, God bless you. I wish I had that kind of life, but I think most of us are pretty normal individuals who have a lot of straight friends, a lot of straight family, and so we're usually the odd ones out, and so you just don't see it very often. So when it is in the media, when there is someone who's queer, it's just so important for them to set an example. I don't know, just be there. Just being there is amazing. You know, it got me to thinking, like when I was growing up, and 7th and 8th grade were the ages I really started to question my sexuality and question whether or not I was actually gay or straight or bi or whatever. Internet was just kind of starting to blossom at that point, and there wasn't a lot of places to turn for me to see, okay, well, this person is doing it this way and that's similar to my situation, so I could possibly look up to them as an example and do things maybe similarly to how they're doing it. So it's just so important now that on the internet, that wedding is up on the internet. There's also openly gay and lesbian couples, openly, transgender couples. It's just so, I didn't know how how like important it was until I think I'm finally like coming out of the closet and discovering myself, because I'm kind of looking to these people because I don't really have a therapist who is experienced in gay and bi, not lifestyles, but you know what I mean. Don't have people around me who can kind of direct me. And so when I see people in the media or people on YouTube or people just wherever, you know, those are the people that I'm really looking at and saying, okay, they look like they kind of have their shit together, so maybe that's how I should be modeling my life, like, because otherwise I'm like, I'm not a straight person, so my life is never going to be like how this is gonna be. It's funny how this all stems from me watching Dan and Phil. And it's ironic too, because the other day on like a live stream, somebody said Phil was like the king of the lesbians, and I think it's like very ironic because, did that sound like I said erotic? I meant ironic. They have such a huge fan base that I think there's so many different diverse people who follow them because they're so just positive and whatever. And I don't know why there's such a gravitation for lesbian girls for Dan and Phil. It's something that I would love to like study psychologically. Anyways, getting back to the point here is that having them on the internet and them talking about their opinions kind of spurs you to look at this thing that's on the internet, which causes you to look at this thing, which creates a snowball effect, and then bam, it's like, okay, I kind of know now how to do this thing called life. Like, I don't have like, you know, a divine intervention or somebody being like, you should do this, this, and this, and this. But it's just great to have someone that you can look up to and be like, okay, so yeah, looks like they're okay. I can do this. I can do what they're doing. Yeah, I can do it. I want to put my opinions out there because I think I have a unique perspective and I can maybe add to the opinions, because I think I have a very unique and complicated coming out story. You know, when I look at my past, it's so kind of convoluted, I guess. It makes sense to me, but I want to be able to share my story so other kids out there can look up to me and be like, okay, so her story was super complicated, so my story is super complicated as well, and that makes it valid. I want to share mine because it is a fucked up story. It's fucked up and it's complicated. There's so many different emotions that go along with it, and maybe it'll help somebody, I don't know. I think right now in my life, I am very much relying on my spirituality to get me by and direct me in the right direction. But also, since I've started watching YouTube again and seeing some lesbian representation, I'm like, you know, I can do this. I can be gay and it's okay. And just because I have a past and a lot of things that go along with my sexuality doesn't make me less valid and doesn't make my sexuality invalid. Just thank you to all the people on the internet, especially the messy human beings who are all over the place. Like, you are so important. You are so important for showing your true story and how things are. It's so important to see that, you know, you can be messy and not have things figured out, but guess what? It's okay. It's all okay. Just thank you. Thank you to all the singers, all the YouTubers, all the writers, all movie stars, every single queer person, transgender, whatever you are, just beautiful. Anything coming under the rainbow butterfly, asexual person, bisexual, pansexual, turtle sexual. Thank you so much. Keep doing you, because us little gay babies who are freshly out of the closet, we need you, and we need you now. So you guys help pave our way, and you're awesome. Anyways, I love all you guys. Do something nice for yourself tonight. Take care of yourself, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.